So I'm proud to announce our newest board member, Mr. Jeff Hoffman. So he's a founding executive director at Excel Center for Entrepreneurship, a partner and co-founder of Color Jar LLC, chairman and CEO of Black Sky Entertainment. They've put out if you've ever seen a horror film, Cabin Fever, that was their film, did over $100 million. CEO of Enable Holdings, Inc., and the founding team member, co-founder of Priceline.com. And this is huge for us, guys. We're a little community of a little over 800 people who started this company February 28th, and we are already attracting somebody who has had so much success. The number one pick for me is Jeff, because he is such an amazing individual, and he has spent so much of his life helping other people. And that's what he's here for. He is really here to make a difference in your life, and you now have him on your side. Because our goal, the community, is the company is here to support the community. Jeff is here to support the company, in turn supporting you, the community members. So, Doug, would you like to maybe fill in anything else with that?
Yeah, buddy, I just really wish he could have made the call tonight, man. It just would have been so great.
Hey, Doug?
Yeah, who's this?
I actually did make the call tonight.
This is Jeff?
Yeah, I am on the call with you guys. I cannot believe 238 people on this call. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Oh, amazing to have you here, buddy.
Well, the White House thing is until next week. I saw you had the call, and I had the time to join. I just wanted to say hello to the community, tell you guys how excited I am to be part of this with you guys. You are in the right place at the right time. If I may, Doug and Peter, I'll give you a really quick, for the community, a really quick bit of background and tell you guys why I'm so excited about what you're doing here.
Absolutely, buddy.
Oh, love it.
Time, the scarcest resource in the world is time. So I have to spend a lot of time thinking about where I spend mine, and making a decision to join you guys on this project was a big decision for me as well. Really quickly, guys, I'm an engineer by trade. Corey, that was funny. I saw Corey's comment. I'm an engineer by trade, but I've spent my whole life making stuff. That's really the what this is all about, making and selling things. My very first startup, I'm going to tell you guys again, I'll go quick, but I was standing in a line. I was 20-something years old, standing in line at an airport. I had just quit my corporate job because I hated it, and I really wanted to design my own future and be in control of my own life. I didn't know what the word entrepreneur meant. I just wanted control of my life, and I wanted to chase big dreams, and I knew I had to do that myself. So I quit my job. I was unemployed. I was standing in an airport line waiting to check in. It was busy. The line took 1 hour. When I got to the front, I said to the lady, she just took my ID and hit print, handed me a boarding pass. And I said, you got to be kidding. I waited an hour and all you did was hit print. And this woman said, well, you need a boarding pass to get on a plane. I said, right, but it's just a printer. You just print a boarding pass as a piece of paper. She said, sir, you need a boarding pass to go through security. And I said, I get that, but it's just a printer. Put a printer over here and I'll print my own boarding pass. And she said, sir, you can't do that. So that Friday, I launched my first product ever. My first product, we designed, patented, and invented. When you check into the airport today, the kiosks that you check in on was our invention. So we created kiosks so people could check themselves into airports. We branded the product. We marketed the product. We sold them all over the world. I still get texts sometimes. People will be in some airport somewhere and send me a text and say, thanks for creating this product. But guess what, guys? We had to fund it. We had to market it. We had to sell it. All the things that I'm going to help you guys with. In the end, that product did really well. They're in airports all over the world now. And we were, again, I'm not driven by money. I don't ever let it own me. But I was 20-something years old, and we sold the company for $100 million. So it was a nice exit, and only after 3 years of time we put into it. So you talk about royalties, everybody that helped me got paid for doing that. Our biggest company, as Peter and Doug already mentioned, was Priceline. Priceline was a scratch startup. It was an idea like all of you have. But again, it took a combination of things. It took a melding of the minds, meaning a community. In our case, the community was the team, but you guys have something even better. I can't even imagine if I had a community like yours to vet my products against and to help me get it right and position it. So we had a community of smart people that we built Priceline around. Then we just happened to be really good at branding. That's, I'm not the finance guy, but branding is what I know. Priceline was the second most recognized brand name on the internet in the entire world after only 2 years that we launched it, because branding is what we know. Priceline today does business in 200 countries and territories because we built the brand and we understand marketing, we understand distribution. And as I think Peter mentioned to you, we started that company from scratch. And today it has a market cap. The company is worth $67 billion today. So we learned a lot about how to create an ongoing revenue stream, how to brand a product, how to sell a product, how to organize teams to vet out ideas. And when I heard what you guys were doing at kulaShare here at kulaBrands, I was blown away about with the fact that what you guys have recognized is the intersection of a lot of important things. It's a perfect storm at the right time of crowdsourcing intelligence. Like I saw one of you type market testers, right, in the comment field here. It's crowdsourcing intelligence is really important. A lot of smart people looking at the same idea will find a way to launch it that none of us could do on our own. The community in the crowd is unbelievably valuable, and I'm excited about kulaBrands because you guys see that. You'll all work together to make each other. A rising tide lifts all boats. So the goal is to make everyone in this community successful by nobody ever being selfish, everybody helping each other, and with honesty, integrity. It's an amazing opportunity to do that. Second, the fact that you guys recognize, the crowdfunding type of world, right? The way we fund projects, the way we develop products, and then we're going to lend our expertise to become the best marketers in the world. A kulaBrand product will have so many people thinking about how to market it. And like I said, that's what I'm going to help you guys with. We've now we sold those check-in kiosks all over the planet Earth, and we did the same thing with Priceline. How to brand, how to market, how to position, how to present, and how to launch products is our expertise. So we're all going to do that together, and it's going to be, I'm glad you guys actually used a space shuttle image because it's going to be a hell of a ride once we light this fuse. So I'm really excited to be part of this. I'm going to share with you guys as well. I spent a lot of my time learning from friends of mine who've been successful in whatever they do. So whenever I'm out and about, like that picture that you guys showed, I just did a trip to the UK where Steve Wozniak and I were traveling. And Woz and I were talking about how he and Steve Jobs created Apple, what they did right, what they did wrong, everything I've learned from Woz and from Jobs before that. I do this event called the Extreme Tech Challenge, for example, that I do with Richard Branson. So I spent a lot of time with Branson he lives on his own island, but on his island with entrepreneurs, learning about how the Virgin brands were launched. Every chance I get, for those of you younger people may not know him, but I do management training and team building with Jack Welch. He was the GE CEO, et cetera. So there's been a lot of people I've been very blessed to learn from, both in business and in life. Recently doing that event, for example, with the Dalai Lama, we did an innovation challenge that he and I did together. And having people like that to teach us how to be good business people, but probably more importantly, how to be good human beings is just a unique opportunity. Next week, timing is everything in life, guys, right? If we launched Priceline at a different time, we might not have created a $60 billion company. Likewise, you guys are getting into kulaBrands at exactly the right time in the world, where crowdfunding, where crowdsourcing, where all these trends are coming together at the same time. And in terms of product, I can't wait to see some of your products and talk to you about them. But in terms of product, we're at a really interesting time now as well. What Peter mentioned earlier, part of what a lot of people are concerned with is that everybody shouldn't be trying to build only internet companies and apps, that we want not more focus on people creating physical product as well. So part of what a lot of people got together and said, let's get focused on the maker movement. So next week will be the launch of National Makers Week. And I just been very blessed that the president asked me to join him in the White House to launch it. So next week I'll be in the White House. If I get a chance to mention what we're doing here, I will. But Obama and the White House are sensitive about who says what when you're up there. But I'll mention it when I can. But we'll be launching National Makers Week and just trying to get more focus on more people inventing things. And the White House will be sponsoring that. I'll be giving a talk after that next week about entrepreneurship, owning your own business, and designing your own life. I'll be speaking at the United Nations about that topic. So we'll get a lot of chance to get a lot of exposure to what we as a family and a community are doing at kulaBrands. And in the end, here's what matters most. We all pool everything we know. Everybody puts all their cards on the table to help everybody else. And we just got to make great choices. Peter said something really important to me. They didn't know I was on here listening, which is that honesty, your real opinion. If you don't think a product's going to make it, the worst thing you could do for your family member in the Kula community is to say, oh, I love it, it's great, if you don't think that. What we need to do to show the rest of the world is that when the Kula brand community picks a product and everybody gets behind it, it's a damn good product and it works. And we can take it out and sell it globally and have a lot more of these huge exits where everybody gets a big lifetime royalty. But the only way we can do that is if we're honest with ourselves. And that goes to both sides. If it's your product and we don't love it, you got to listen. We're all here. We all are sailing on the same ship, right? So we all sink or swim together. So if somebody's giving you advice you don't like, realize that they're giving it to you because they really mean it, not trying to be difficult. So you guys got to take criticism as well as be honest in giving it. And we got to show the world that when a product, Peter said this term to me, he said, Jeff, we have a process for how we give birth to a product through the kulaBrands methodology and series of steps. We have to show the world that when you put a product through the kulaBrand methodology, what comes out of the back end is success. We know how to launch stuff. We know what to fund. We know how to position and market things. And when we get our entire weight behind somebody's product, it's going to succeed. So that's what we got to show the rest of the world. That's the success that I can talk about, in the White House or at the UN or wherever else we get opportunities. I'm actually going to be on Shark Tank on ABC in the next season a little bit. So we'll have some great opportunities for us to really talk about what we're doing, but it only matters if we're actually doing it. And I see no reason, believe me, the last thing I have is any extra time. And so, I made a very careful decision to spend extra time with you guys. So we got to make this thing work. And if I didn't think we could, there's no way I would be doing this. Kevin from Shark Tank and I just did a Shark Tank event recently looking at products. And you know what they lack? A lot of these ideas lack exactly what kulaBrands created. They don't have a community to help them. It really does take a village, and they don't have one. We do. And they don't have a process. And they don't have the specific expertise of branding and launching. We have everything on our plate right now that we need to be successful. So the time is now. This is the right place, the right time, the right team. And I just got to tell you guys, I'm absolutely thrilled to take this ride with you.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for that. I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but you have the chat going absolutely berserk, my friend. I mean, it is... I wish you could read all these, but it would take you all day. I mean, the excitement that you've brought to this and the value that you're bringing to this community, buddy, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart that you were willing to come on board and help us turn this into the tremendous opportunity that it will be for all these people that are on here, because that's really our goal, is to create income for Tom and Wendy and Bradley. And Bradley's a young guy, and he wants to quit his corporate job in his 20s as well. So I appreciate that you've decided to come on board with us. I haven't been able to sleep for the last few days since we, started pushing this thing forward. And I was so nervous when I started talking with you about getting you on board. And I was so glad that you decided to say yes and become a part of this. And again, thank you. And the community is thanking you like crazy. So they're telling you what they feel. So with that, I know your time is valuable. Thank you for joining us, Jeff. And, anything else you'd like to say, Jeff?
I do have to run, but I just want to repeat that, what we're asking all of you, the community, in return, we already said it, I'm just going to repeat it one more time before I get going, is a couple of things. One, we already said, was honesty on both sides of the equation, right? Be open and listen and realize that people aren't criticizing you, they're helping you, right? I learned to take input really well, which I think had a lot to do with why our products and our companies were successful, because if I don't care whose idea it is, if somebody's idea is better than mine, I will drop mine in a hot minute and take the better idea because I want to succeed. So being honest, to being open to criticism, and that's not even a word, it's being open to help, and being willing to both listen and to give it is really important. Like we said, integrity. We need to build a community that people wish they could be part of. We want to be the community that the quality of people and the integrity of this group. I will tell you something. In my business career, more than once, I took people's money, put it in a little pile, and handed it back to them. Because while I was trying to pay my bills and make a living and make it in the world, I never, ever lowered my standard for anybody's money anywhere. Our integrity is critical because that's part of brand, right? Not only are we branding you guys and your products, but we're going to brand ourselves. What is a Kula community member? What is a kulaBrands product? We have to deliver this integrity. So on that, I'm going to say another piece, which you don't have to do this, but I'll tell you something. I was doing some media interviews recently. In fact, when Wozniak and I were on the road, we were getting interviewed a bunch of things, and people asked me the question. Well, I guess that was last week. I was working on a project. Actually, it's a product, something that I'm doing with Christina Aguilera, and Christina wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody has a product now. So many of my friends in sports and entertainment. In fact, I'm in Cleveland now because I'm working on something that with LeBron James has a product idea. All these people want to build products. I've been working with them for it. But I'll tell you, somebody said to me, Jeff, what is it that gets you up in the morning? What drives you? And I will tell you guys, I have been blessed in my life 1,000 times over. I've had the chance to live way more dreams than I ever thought, from the day we did the IPO for what became a multi-billion-dollar company, to standing on the red carpet, winning a Grammy, to creating movies, whatever. Last year I was mentoring African youth on a ship off the coast of Africa with Archbishop Desmond Tutu, the Nobel Peace Prize winner. And I was sitting there and thinking, to what do I owe this blessing? Why did I get lucky enough to be blessed to sit here and do this? And I'm going to tell you what came back to me was that the old adage that the more you receive, the more you have to give. So I do this now because I've already gotten way more than my fair share. What drives me every day, and I'm going to tell you this about you personally, Peter, since the day we met, what gets me up in the morning is the opportunity to see you guys get to live your dreams, to see other people get to have some of the adventures I had and get to stand in places you only ever dreamed of standing. But the price tag for that is you got to give back. There is no shame in life in making money, guys. The shame in life is in not using it to help others. So as long as everybody on here takes the pledge that we will spread our success when we have it to other people in the world who need our help, then I'll be with you guys for a long time. So I just wanted to share that because that's why I'm doing this. I want you to be successful. I want you to get to have some of the immense blessings that I've had, but I'm doing that because I don't want you to turn around and pass those blessings to somebody behind you that needs your help. Maybe we make that a Kula pledge. I see somebody, Lisa wrote that. Maybe we do make that a pledge, Peter, Doug, that I pledge that if I am successful as a Kula community member, I will pay my success forward. I think that's a hell of a mission that we all get to live our dreams and we get to leave the world a better place than we found it. I'm excited to do that with you guys. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk, and I look forward to continuing discussion. Peter and Doug, I got to hit the road.